Alright, what's good? So, today I want to talk about the mindset that helped me double my income over the past 5 years. Here's the thing, okay? There's only so much we have control over as men, okay? So, I'm not saying that if you adopt everything I'm getting ready to say, that you are guaranteed to have money thrown at you tomorrow. What I'm trying to help you understand is you are limited, okay, by your circumstances, right? But what you don't need to do is limit yourself, okay? Circumstances may limit you to doing certain things. You need to focus on what you can do, what you can control, okay? And what we can control when we work for somebody else is our value. What we're going to talk about are 3 things you can do at your current job, or really anywhere, to increase your value. So, when you either get a raise, when it's time for you to get a raise, or if you want to request a raise, you are in a position, a right position, a very deserving position to ask for, whatever you're going to be asking for. We aren't going to depend on the employer or the world or other people to do us right. Okay, that's the first thing. Life is suffering. There will be suffering. You can't depend on people to do you right. That's just, you need to get used to that. Okay? As a man, you're going to have to do everything within your power, and whatever doesn't work out, you need to brush it off and you got to keep moving. You have no choice, because no one's going to sit here and feel bad for you. They won't. Okay? Not for us. So, first thing you can do to increase your value at your current job, and this, to some extent, depending on your temperament, will be, a little more difficult, is to be likable. Be easy to work with. I know that we all have different personalities, but when we go to work, when we're in a different environment, a professional environment, we need to conduct ourselves a certain way. Okay, this is not the same as you hanging out with your boys or hanging out with a close friend or your family members. It's not, and you know that. But see, the thing is we get around that environment and we want to get comfortable, right? We laugh and you joke around, and it's cool. Nothing wrong with humor. Nothing wrong with, a little playfulness at the workplace. But you need to conduct yourself in a way, for one, you need to be easy to work with. Okay, so, some people have a temperament that makes them a little more disagreeable. And I'm not necessarily saying that you need to just be a yes man, but be a little more agreeable. Where possible, where reasonable. Okay. People need to find it easy to get along with you. They need to like being around you. One thing you can do when you're trying to consider how to be more likable is think about an example of another person that you may know either at work or somewhere else where being around them is comfortable. Generally speaking, if you can avoid it, don't bring up politics or religion. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, the thing is the workplace is not the time to discuss why you disagree with somebody else's Christian doctrine or something, or why you disagree with Trump's policies or disagree with Biden's policies or whatever. I understand that you grow relationships with these people and you get to a point where you do talk about things that are near and dear to you. But again, the workplace, okay, that's a place where you conduct yourself a certain way. And if you can avoid those conversations and just do your job, then just do that, okay? Especially for you all who the place you're currently working isn't your dream job or your job you're going to stay at forever. Man, be quiet and do your job. It's as simple as that. Some other things you shouldn't do, okay? Some things that will make you unlikable or make you harder to be around. Don't complain. Don't come to work and be talking about what's going on at the house and man, it was rough last night, or I had a really rough week, and then you go into detail about how hard it's been and what's been going on, and this person got, I'm arguing with this person, my baby mama, or whatever issues you have. Don't bring them to the workplace, please. Okay? It's not as if people don't care, but people don't care. And it's not as if you can't talk to it. Let's say you got some friends you hang out with outside of work that are, that are your coworkers. Y'all hang out outside of work. Okay, you can talk to them about it then, but not while you're at the job. Like I said, be quiet and do your job. Don't complain. People don't want to be around people that complain. And it's not as if your struggle don't matter. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying don't bring it up there. Don't bring it there. because nobody wants to hear it because they got their own problems. Another thing to be more likable at the job. This is one thing you want to do. Okay, one thing you want to do is you want to have a good attitude. Okay, so don't show up to work with a "hey man, I'm just here" attitude. You don't have to show up to work with an attitude of "I don't care about my job, I'm just here." That's not something you can fake. You know, you don't have to show up to work and not talk to anybody and just sit down and do whatever your job is. It's like, no, like, show up, have a good attitude, you know, be sociable. You know, if you're a little more introverted and it's not your forte, you got to step out of your comfort zone. You got to. You don't have no choice. Be sociable, get your job done, don't complain. What was the other one? Have a good attitude. Keep a good attitude. Okay. The second thing you can do to increase your value at your job, or just as far as being an employee in general, is do your job the best you can do. What do I mean by that? Don't half do it. That's what I mean. Don't show up to work and just do the bare minimum and do whatever you can do and get away with it. Like you taking a test and you get a C and you cool with that. Like, hey, I still pass. We're not going for passing. We're going for 100%. Okay? Because when you at this job, you're going to make some more money. Even if you're not going to be there forever, you need to increase your value. Guess what? Do your job better than everybody else is doing your job. Do it way better than them. And guess what? You can. Learn the ins and outs of whatever is going to make you do it better. And I get it that depending on what you're doing, here's the thing. Some people have a natural proclivity towards certain things, so it's going to be easier for them to adapt to a certain situation. So like, let's say, I may have a knack for math, right? And I'm in a job that requires me to, do just that, right? Where I'm using, fractions or numbers all the time. Well, it's not going to take as much effort for me to deal with all of that as it would someone else who that may not be their forte, and sure, that maybe it's not a limitation. What it is it's just you're a different person, and it takes a different amount of effort for you to do the same thing as somebody else. Okay, so take that into consideration and do your best. Period. No excuses. That is going to increase your value, because if you're doing your job really well and you got a good attitude and you ain't complaining all the time and they like being around you, that's valuable to have a person around like that that does their job really well and they don't complain. Also, this is something that I shouldn't even have to say, but don't show up to work late if you can help it. Okay? And also, I'm telling you this, have I shown up to work late? Of course I have. Okay? But I'm trying to help you understand, if you can avoid it, don't do it. Okay? Unless something really bad happened, or the normal, you're human, right? You may oversleep or something, or maybe you didn't get enough sleep and you're dragging in the morning or whatever. But generally speaking, don't be late to work. Period. Don't do it. Okay? Okay, the third thing you can do at your job to raise your value as an employee, or just in general, is do more than your job. What do I mean by that? You need to do your job the very best you can, and then you need to know how to do everybody else's job. Okay? Learn as much as you can about the inner workings of the different positions of that company, whatever it is. As a manager, you need to some extent, understand how to do each person's job. You need to understand how it works, what makes the company work. Okay, the different positions. You got to understand them to some extent if you're going to manage them. So, that being said, learn how to do somebody else's job. Learn how to do it better than they can do it. Okay, if they see you not only doing your job well, but doing somebody else's job well, and you got a good attitude, and you not late, and you don't complain, they'll throwing money at you. They'll throw it at you. They'll make it rain. They will want to pay you more. They will want to reward you because they want to keep you. Because see, here's what happens. When you increase your value at work, they don't want to lose you. Think about it for a second. They got somebody that's doing their job well. They ain't complaining, none of it. They got all these good traits. And then they have somebody else here that's just kind of doing the minimum and they working or whatever. It's easy to let them go. Because you can find tons of people that'll be cool with getting a 70, getting a C. They cool with getting a C, okay? But it's not that many people who will show up to whatever job it is, even if it's a lower job in the company. It's not a whole lot of people that'll show up and have all these good character traits in that lower position. Let me give you an example. When I was 15, 16, now before I started working at I guess I'd say an official job, I worked for a mobile mechanic on and off for a few years. Even while I was there, I started off as a gopher. Okay, I got stuff. I went to go get stuff for him. Go get me this tool. Go get me that tool. That's all I really did because I didn't know anything. And of course, with those kind of jobs, you want to learn and you want to grow, so you're not just going to get tools. You want to do stuff. But I mean, I could have stayed at that position. I would have made less money, But I went from making maybe $50, $60 a day to about $120 a day, $110 on average, sort of depending on the job. But, they got to a point to where we would show up to a job, and when I say mobile mechanic, which means we would drive around and fix people's cars wherever they were. We stopped on the highway or at the house, or they, a lot of times they couldn't get it out of the house. They couldn't get it to a shop, so they would call us and we would come out and service it. But we got to a point to where we would show up to a job and he wouldn't even get out of the truck. I would get out of the truck and do everything, we would leave. And he would just pick up the check. Okay. And I was 15, 16. But I had it instilled in me early enough to have a good work ethic and learn as much as you can wherever you are. Do the best you can with what you have. And that's what I attempted to do, which is why I made more money. There was one day where we got to a point I made like $400 one day. We had so much work, and I knew how to do it. So guess what? I got paid for it. Okay? Even when I was 15, 16, I got a real job, and I worked at Target, and I worked at Tom Thumb. Both the jobs for about a year. And the new batch of employees they hired, we all had our, we got our raises at about the same time. So, let's say we're, 6, 7 months in or whatever. You get a raise earlier than that, but we all got our raises at the same time. And each time, at both jobs, my manager sat me down and pulled me to the side and said, well, we gave everybody our raises, and she told me how much I got for my raise, and she said, look, if you can make sure that they don't know how much we gave you, because we gave you more of a raise than everybody else because of your job performance. Said, because of your job performance, we gave you a little more than everyone else. And if you can just make sure that they don't know that, because they probably wouldn't be too happy to find out that you were getting more of a raise than them. And even though it's small, it wasn't a huge pay raise. It wasn't 5, 10, 9, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a huge pay raise. But the point still stands. They saw my value increase during the period of time me working there. And they said, we're going to pay him more than everybody else that's been here. I was outperforming them. It's something simple. Being a cashier or pushing carts. Simple. Cleaning restrooms. But I had the right mindset. I had the right initiative to do my job right, show up to work with a good attitude, don't sit around and complain, and do somebody else's job better than they doing it. It paid off. And even with the job that I currently have now, I do make double than what I used to make. And that isn't necessarily because I'm just such an amazing person. I do want to give the credit to the Most High for blessing me with this job. But you have to take the initiative is the thing. So even if you're in a really good position, or you have really good opportunities, if you don't take the initiative, you don't have a good work ethic, and you aren't doing your part, you won't succeed. Period. So some people may have it a little easier. They may have better, a better opportunity, or easier time doing whatever it is they're doing, getting a raise or whatever. But that's not the point. You're talking about you. What is your situation like? Whatever you can do it. So, with that being said, number one, be likable and be easy to work with. Don't complain when you come to work. Have a good attitude. Be on time. Number two, do your job the best you can do. Don't half do it. You don't want to just pass. You want 100%. Do your job the very best you can do. Do it well. Learn it as much as you can. Understand it. And number three, do other people's jobs the best you can do. Learn their positions. Do more than just what you are being paid to do. Okay. And if you combine all these three things, you make it a part of your mindset and you put it into practice, you be increasing your value as an employee. And you can go to work tomorrow and your boss gonna make it rain on you. Okay? Seriously though. He's gonna want to pay you more. And even if you don't want to make it rain on you, you still have the right now to demand better pay. You'll be in a better position to demand that. You're gonna be asking from a state of, oh, I just feel like I deserve more. No, you actually do, because you putting the work in. You showing up. You doing other people's job well. You know, you're making the company run more efficiently. You're adding value to the company. And those are the kind of people that they don't want to fire and they want to keep around. So now you'll be in a better position to ask for that raise or whatever. Or if they are offering raises, they'll be more inclined to give you more of one. You know, take that with as big of a grain of salt as you want to, and you make your own decisions as a man. And that's what we're supposed to do. You watch something, whether you get advice from somebody else, you take it, you consider it, and you make your own decision. So hopefully that helps you in some way. You know, you can put those into practice wherever you work, no matter how low or high you are on the ladder, on the food chain, and put it into practice. And y'all let me know, man, if y'all put some of this stuff into practice and you see results, like, you know, leave a comment. Let me know. I'm interested to see other people who are already doing these things, or they've already done them, or maybe they're about to try them. Man, post it. You know, post a comment. Let me know what's going on. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I really hope it did help you. And if it did, if you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, share it, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new videos, because I will be making more videos like this, trying to share my experience and the experiences of others to hopefully help you along your journey to baby. All right, so peace out.